Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. All right, folks, here's a hot topic shaking up the Miami Dolphins offseason. Jonnu Smith, the team's standout Pro Bowl tight end from last year, might actually be on the move. That's right. The very guy who shattered franchise records for receptions and receiving yards by a tight end in Miami could be packing his bag soon. Reports are coming in that the Dolphins are in trade talks with the Pittsburgh Steelers about Smith, which is raising plenty of eyebrows around the NFL. Considering Smith was the only Dolphin to make the Pro Bowl last season, this potential trade is a big deal, and it's stirring up lots of speculation on what's really going on behind the scenes in Miami. Digging deeper into the situation, the crux of the matter seems to be contract related. Smith, currently in the second year of a 2-year deal, wants to renegotiate his contract. He's set to earn about $4 million in 2025 with a $2.8 million signing bonus, but apparently that's not cutting it for him anymore. From the Dolphins' perspective, they might be hesitant to commit big money to Smith, even though his contributions on the field have been vital. And to add fuel to the fire, Smith was noticeably absent from the Dolphins' OTA session that was open to the media. A possible hint that the talks are serious and ongoing. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Smith is a local talent coming out of Florida International University, and Miami showed a lot of faith in him by signing him last offseason. So you'd expect the Dolphins to be eager to keep him happy, right? But it looks like they're playing hardball when it comes to the contract extension, which could be risky. Losing Smith wouldn't exactly strengthen the Dolphins' offense, that's for sure. It might even look bad for the franchise to let a local star walk away just because they don't want to meet his financial demands, especially after handing out several new contracts last year. On the flip side, Smith reportedly prefers to stay in Miami, which adds a layer of complexity to the negotiations. When the players met with the media after the season finale against the Jets, Smith hinted at wanting a new contract. This suggests that while he values Miami, he's also looking for a deal that reflects his worth. For Miami, this is a tough balancing act. Keep a key piece happy without overpaying or risk losing him altogether. From Pittsburgh's standpoint, the Steelers could be a logical destination. They just locked down their own star tight end, Pat Freiermuth, with a big 4-year extension worth $48 million, although only a portion was guaranteed at signing. Bringing in Jonnu Smith could add depth and experience to their tight end core, making this trade a potentially smart move for them. The Steelers seem ready to invest in that position, and Smith could fit right in alongside Freiermuth. Looking back at Smith's first season with the Dolphins, his impact was undeniable. Despite the Dolphins experiencing a drop in production from Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, Smith stepped up big time. He racked up 88 catches for 884 yards, both career highs by a significant margin. His breakout started around week 7, and from that point on, he became the reliable weapon Miami desperately needed. Smith had 200-yard games and was crucial in several key moments, including the overtime win against the Jets where he caught the game-winning touchdown. But there's a catch. Dolphins tight ends coach John Embry believes Smith can still improve, especially in blocking and maximizing yards after catch. This suggests the Dolphins see untapped potential in Smith, which makes the possibility of trading him even more surprising. Still, Miami would be left without a proven pass-catching tight end if they do move on from Smith, which could impact their offensive dynamics next season. Interestingly, there's chatter that the Dolphins might be eyeing former Raiders second-round pick Michael Mayer if he becomes available. Mayer was reportedly on the trade block earlier in the offseason, so the Dolphins could try to snag him as a replacement. There's also speculation that if Miami trades for Mayer, it might involve moving cornerback Jalen Ramsey in a deal with the Raiders, which would be a blockbuster shakeup for both teams. This offseason is shaping up to be one wild ride for the Dolphins. Right now, Miami's tight end roster includes Julian Hill, Pharaoh Brown, Tanner Connor, Hayden Rucci, and rookie free agent Jalen Conyers, but none have Smith's proven production and impact. So whether Miami keeps Jonnu Smith or not, this is a critical juncture for the team's offense. Fans should buckle up because whatever happens with Smith's situation will undoubtedly influence the Dolphins' strategy and success in 2025 and beyond. The trade talks might just be the tip of the iceberg in what's shaping up to be a very intriguing offseason in Miami. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? Big news shaking up the NFL world today. The rumor mill is buzzing that Josh Allen, the superstar quarterback from the Buffalo Bills, has officially signed with the Miami Dolphins. If this turns out to be true, it's a seismic shift in the AFC East landscape that no one saw coming. Allen has been the face of the Bills for years, leading them to multiple playoff runs and transforming them into legitimate contenders. But now, imagine him swapping the cold, snowy Buffalo weather for the sunny beaches of Miami, donning the aqua and orange. This would instantly make the Dolphins a powerhouse team, and the entire division would have to rethink their strategies. Josh, Allen's move to Miami would not just be a player switching teams, it would be a complete overhaul of the Dolphins' offensive identity. Miami has been struggling to find consistent success at quarterback for years, bouncing between veterans and young hopefuls without much stability. Bringing in a dynamic, dual-threat QB like Allen could finally give them the franchise leader they've been craving. Allen's blend of strong-arm talent, mobility, and leadership could revitalize the Dolphins' offense, turning them into an unpredictable force. The offense would gain explosive vertical passing and a much-needed physical presence, something Miami has lacked. This signing would immediately put pressure on the New England Patriots, New York Jets, and Buffalo Bills themselves. The AFC East has long been dominated by the Bills and Patriots in recent years, with Miami and New York playing catch-up. Allen in Miami would create a new level of competition, pushing every team to step up their game. The Patriots, known for their defensive discipline and adaptability, would face a much more aggressive Dolphins offense that can attack both through the air and on the ground. Meanwhile, the Jets would be forced to accelerate their rebuilding efforts to keep pace with a Dolphins team now stocked with a top-tier quarterback. From a tactical standpoint, the Dolphins coaching staff would have to make some big adjustments to maximize Allen's talents. Miami has typically run a balanced offense with a focus on quick passes and running backs. But Allen thrives in an offense that lets him stretch the field with deep throws and scramble when defenses collapse. Offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel, known for his creative schemes, would likely build an offense around Allen's unique skill set, blending power running, play action, and bootlegs to keep defenses guessing. This could make Miami's offense one of the most exciting to watch, combining the best of West Coast and vertical passing attacks. Josh Allen's presence also impacts the Dolphins' supporting cast. Miami has a strong group of wide receivers and a solid offensive line, but Allen's arrival would elevate their performance to another level. Receivers like Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and others would benefit from Allen's deep ball accuracy and ability to extend plays. Hill's blazing speed combined with Allen's arm strength could create some jaw-dropping highlights and force defenses to respect every inch of the field. The offensive line would need to provide solid protection, but Allen's mobility also means he can evade pressure and buy time for his receivers, making the offense more dynamic overall. Looking beyond offense, this move could ripple through Miami's entire roster and even the front office. The Dolphins have been investing heavily in building a competitive team, and landing a player like Allen could accelerate their championship timeline. It's not just about one player. It's about the culture and confidence this signing would bring. The locker room would buzz with excitement and belief, which can be the difference between a good team and a great one. Meanwhile, the front office could leverage Allen's star power to attract more talent in future drafts and free agency, making Miami an increasingly attractive destination for top players. Of course, this news raises questions about what happens to the Bills. Losing Josh Allen would be a massive blow for Buffalo, both on and off the field. Allen was not only their franchise quarterback, but also their emotional leader and symbol of hope. The Bills would need to pivot quickly, perhaps turning to their backup QB or scrambling in the offseason to find a new leader. Fans would be shocked and likely frustrated by the sudden departure, and the front office would face intense pressure to respond with smart moves. Buffalo's dominance in the AFC East might be challenged for years to come if they don't manage this transition well. For the AFC East rivalry, Allen's move brings new storylines and drama. Imagine every Bills-Dolphins matchup now featuring Allen playing against his former team with added intensity and personal stakes. The Jets and Patriots will also have new motivation to compete, knowing the Dolphins just upgraded at the most critical position. This could revitalize the division and create some of the most thrilling football in the league. The NFL thrives on rivalries and star power, and this move injects both in spades, making every game feel like a high-stakes showdown. Financially, this signing likely involves a massive contract and cap implications for the Dolphins. Allen's proven talent commands top dollar, so Miami's management would need to structure a deal that balances paying their star without crippling the team's flexibility. However, given Miami's recent willingness to spend big, this seems doable. The investment signals the team's clear intent to win now and not settle for mediocrity. Fans and analysts will be watching closely to see how the Dolphins manage their salary cap moving forward, especially with other key players to re-sign and new talent to pursue. So if this rumor is confirmed, the AFC East landscape will never look the same again. Josh Allen to the Dolphins is more than just a headline. It's a game changer that could define the next era of football in the division. Miami gains a superstar, Buffalo faces a huge challenge, and the entire division gets a jolt of excitement and competitiveness. The next NFL season just got way more intriguing, and every fan should be paying close attention to how this story unfolds. It's a dramatic chapter in NFL history, and we're here for every second of it. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.